When was the Seven founded? Maybe it's just me, but when watching the show I feel like the Seven has been around forever, but I've recently come to ask, when exactly did the team start? I will be going through a lot of other details and events in the timeline before actually determining the age of the Seven as a team, so if you want the answer, skip to this time. There are a lot of details to try and determine when they were founded, a lot of flashbacks, and time we have to get straight, so let's begin. Homelander says in Season 3 that when he debuted, he was promised a team, yet in the canon finale of the spin-off Diabolical, he is rolled out to the public and doesn't immediately join a team. So I'm thinking he was promised a team, but not immediately. I think they wanted him to be a solo hero for a while before putting him onto a team. Another detail, we learn in Season 2 when Burke is explaining his storyboards for Dawn of the Seven that Mr. Marathon was a founding member, and that the founding members were Homelander, Maeve, Black Noir, Deep, Translucent, Lamplighter, and Mr. Marathon. Now let's get the timeline of the show down, when exactly is set. So the first season came out in 2019, but it's set in the last few months of 2020. And Season 2 is meant to be a few months after the first. And the Vought International YouTube channel shows Cameron Coleman reporting events from Season 2, and the news segment is said to be set during July of 2021, so a little bit after the second season. So I'd say that the first season is set in December of 2020, which is further supported by the flashback which I'd set 8 years prior and is set at a Vought Christmas party. Season 2 is set in early to mid-2021, and then Season 3 is confirmed in the show to be set in 2022 and is also said to be a year after Season 2, confirming that it's set in 2021. Now, Gen V is also set in 2022, at the tail end of the third season of The Boys, and it's the start of the school year, so probably August or September. And we get a flashback which is 8 years prior from its events, of a train getting into the Seven, and that would put a train joining the Seven in 2014. So the Seven has been around for at least 8 years. We also learn in another flashback that the Mallory and Lamplighter shit happened 5 years prior to the second season, which is in 2021, meaning the Lamplighter shit happened in 2016. Deep also says in the first season that Lamplighter had a long and distinguished career in the Seven, and we know Lamplighter was a founding member. Now let's talk birth dates. Maeve is shown in memoriam to have been born in 1982. We also learn in Gen V that she was a student at GodU and was ranked number 1 during her time. So assuming Maeve had a regular four-year college tenure at GodU like everyone else, that would mean she was either 18 or 19 when she enrolled there. And I'm gonna say 19 because if she was 19, had 4 years, and graduated into being a hero at 23, that would line up with one of her most famous feats of stopping the falling bus which broke her arm when she was 23. And I bet that was one of her most famous feats because it was probably one of her debut achievements, probably one of her first outings as Queen Maeve. And if she was born in 82, making her 23 in 2005, so her debut as Queen Maeve was most likely in 2005. Maeve also says that the Seven surpassed Payback as the most popular superhero team, so that would mean they were still, well, I don't want to say an active team, but still a team. And we learn in the canon episode of Diabolical that Black Noir was the most popular sup Vought had before Homelander, and Soldier Boy was the most popular with no competition before he was given to the Russians. And Black Noir tells Stan Edgar that with Soldier Boy gone, he'll have a more centralized role on the team, which I take to mean he was chosen to replace Soldier Boy as leader of Payback. I mean, he was the second most popular outside of Soldier Boy, so it makes sense. So far we have Maeve becoming a superhero on 2005, and a train joining the Seven in 2014, and the show taking place from 2020 to 2022. For all that yapping, we haven't gotten far. But let's finally put to bed when exactly the team was founded. In Season 2, Ashley tells a train that he served for years longer than Mr. Marathon in the Seven, and we know that a train joined in 2014 and originally was kicked in 2021, meaning he served 7 years as a member of the Seven, and that would mean Mr. Marathon only served 3 years. And we see in the Christmas flashback that only 2 members of the team aren't there, Lamplighter, because he had not been cast yet, and a speedster. Also, side note, I like to think that the reason Lamplighter and Mr. Marathon aren't at the Christmas party is because they sneaking the college girls into the tower. Now we know that flashback was set in 2012, since it's 8 years before, so that means a train hadn't joined, and if he joined in 2014, and Mr. Marathon served 3 years as a member. And he was a founding member. That would mean the Seven was formed in 2011. Now I know a lot of the stuff I talked about really didn't matter to solving when the Seven was formed, like the Maeve stuff, but I still wanted to lay out some events in the timeline. So, Homelander is born in 1981, Maeve born in 82, Soldier Boy is given to the Russians, and Noir becomes leader of Payback in 1984. Homelander debuts sometime in the 2000s, probably after 2001. Maeve debuts as a hero in 2005. Noir possibly leaves Payback to go solo in preparation for the Seven's creation, or he just straight up leaves Payback when the Seven is formed. The Seven is formed in 2011, surpassing Payback as the most popular team. Homelander and Billy meet for the first time in 2012, and Homelander later assaults Becca that same year. Mr. Marathon retires, and a train joins the Seven in 2014. Lamplighter is blackmailed and later kills Mallory's grandchildren in 2016. The first season takes place in 2020, the second in 2021, the third and Gen V in 2022. So that's it. A lot of useless ramblings, but it's just something I wanted to make. Hope you liked it. I understand if you don't. If you have thoughts, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.